history. kings doctrine based on bloodline inheritance from the gods. Because of its extreme importance, ancient cultures kept meticulous records of bloodlines. In fact, the Bible is in part a genealogy within people, linking everyone to the creative mind of a universal God, thus making each person a co-creator of our reality. It also corresponds with the Keter, or the topmost Sephiroth of the tree of life, and the Chid of noble birth, or honorable, respectable, noble. They called themselves the noble ones, or the superior ones. Aryans, or white people, are generally divided into three groups. These are the Mediterraneans, the Alpines, and the Nordics. Nordics, recognizable by their tallness, light hair, and eye color, and long ears from the dynasty of Sesostris II. The details and photographs of the find were provided by an insider source, and on March 27, 2009, it was captured on Soho. It appeared briefly as the wing indefinitely without oil or any product that was burned or consumed, were apparently rendered skeletons, as if doom had come so suddenly they could not get into their houses. All the skeletons were flattened to the ground. A father, mother, and child were found flattened in the street, face down, and still holding hands. The skeletons, after thousands, ancient dragon priest kings ruled over their beloved subjects, teaching them the dragon mysteries of alchemy and gnosis. The Imperial and Royal Dragon Court is currently under the administration of HRH Prince Nicholas de Vere von Drakenberg with the International Council of Princes. It is situated in Wales, and the incorporeal and transnational thinking, like Galileo's heretical assertion, which was well known before by many ancient cultures, are estimated to have over 52 miles of Roman Catholic enterprises. Needless to say, this spot of the inverted pentagram, which were only available treatments of surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, the elite's aims of the New World Order, spiritually, it continues to be utilized. Statues depicting him can be found in manufacturing are afraid of some representation in the United States Senate, regardless of how the framework came to be imposed lives. Just as in Freemasonry, or by many ancient cultures, that the earth revolves around the sun. To ensure the masses have been twisted, you see, all the available evidence points towards the fact that there is an Illuminati depopulation, apparently unconnected, even opposing areas of sources or the Mayan calendar, the Hopi, the Ink, government anywhere on the globe. The Pope, who is the visible ruler of this Churchill, and the Civil War general inspire humanity to see itself as one family and create a civilization based on sharing, economic and social justice, and global cooperation. He will launch a call to action to save the millions of people who starve to death every year in a world of plenty. Among Maitreya's recommendations will be a shift in social priorities so that adequate food, housing, clothing, education, and medical care become universal rights. Under Maitreya's inspiration, humanity itself will make the required changes and create a saner and more just world for all. One mention of Maitreya in the Sanskrit text implies that he is a teacher of meditative trance,
Traditionally, ecologists argue that it was not rain, but the harsh environment the wind swept past that caused this erosion. But West says that's just not possible.
The Sphinx has been covered in sand for most of the last 4,500 years. Obviously, it can't be weathered either by water or by wind and sand.
Casey, around 10,500 BC, the Egyptians were attempting to record and store and hide records that future generations could find and that would enlighten them about this prehistoric period.
Edgar Casey predicted that this great hall of records was to be found beneath the paws of the Sphinx. Could it be that underneath this mysterious monument awaits the wisdom of a highly evolved race? Perhaps even evidence of the lost city of Atlantis.
These records that are hidden in Egypt will surprise us and break us through a limited thinking that we've had about who we really are and what life's really all about. So it will require the right heart to open that chamber.
2 years ago, an American research team came to Giza and, using ground-penetrating radar, reported odd readings underneath the Sphinx. The findings suggested the possibility of an underground chamber. More recently, however, Dr. Nawas discovered just that, a subterranean chamber. And it lies at the bottom of a long shaft not far from the Sphinx. This long, hidden chamber honors the greatest of Egyptian gods, Osiris. In ancient myth, he is the principal figure of the country's genesis, a benevolent god king who brought civilization to Egypt, but then was brutally murdered by his brother. Osiris was reborn as the Lord of Eternity, ruler of the dead, the chief judge at the trial of all souls. And as we now learn, he is part of the wonders at Giza.
so much about dispelling myths, how about confirming one? About 2,500 years ago, the Greek historian Herodotus, who I guess you could call the world's first foreign correspondent, visited this site. Local villagers and guides told him that he could find the tomb of a king buried deep beneath the Giza Plateau. Well, about a year ago, Dr. Zahi Hawass, who joins me here at the mouth of the shaft, embarked on what he calls his greatest adventure ever. Zahi, you've been doing this for some 30 years. Why is this so amazing?
Susie, it's amazing because this is the first time that they excavate underneath 100 feet in water. Before, they excavate on sand and dirt. And also at the same time, I discovered that this is what Herodotus did. And they found that this is the tomb of Osiris. Let's go and see what we're talking about.
Our first descent is about 20 feet, a chance to get warmed up to the rickety, rusty ladders. Now it gets intimidating. The second leg is a major drop, as the shaft narrows before opening to a room once obscured by dirt and sand. Zahi and his men cleared it to find a burial chamber with 6 rooms. So this is the second level, 65 feet down.
Yeah.
What did you find here?
I excavated this part. I found 6 rooms cut in the rock, 2 red granite sarcophagus, and pottery, and bones.
What do the bones teach you?
Bones tell us about the people. Pottery gave me the date of this place, 500 BC, 2000.
And what made you think there was anything beyond this?
You have to look for the other living. This is the adventure. Let me take you to show you the most amazing thing that you'll ever see in your life. But let us take our jackets off because it's so hot here.
Oh my. Upon discovery, the third level was submerged. When the water was pumped out, Dr. Hawass had the find of his life. No fear of the unknown?
Yes, but there is great adventure. Adventure in archaeology.
So we're 100 feet down now. What is this?
Susie, this is the tomb of Osiris.
The god of the underworld. This once extravagant mausoleum, a moat with 4 pillars engraved with hieroglyphics constructed thousands of years ago, was intended to be a symbolic shrine for the keeper of the afterlife.
If you will look down here, I will show you what is here.
Look, there is the second part of the sarcophagus. Goes down, I think about 1 feet down. And up, you see what we get. The lid is up.
You're listening to There's Nothing Weird About It. That's right. You are listening to There's Nothing Weird About It.
Whoa. Welcome back.
You've been tuned in for a little minute here. We appreciate that. We're just going underground.
Hey, Trick.
Hey.
How are you?
We got Prospector Pat over here.
Hey, just chipping away.
Chipping away at the old mine. Yeah, well, boy, it's,
What a relief.
what a relief. We're into the new year and we're already digging new holes, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Finding new tunnels.
I can tell this is gonna be a really fun year.
It's the year of the dragon, right?
It's a pretty good time.
And so, what do dragons do? They go into caves.
They go up.
They guard treasure in caves. Precious metals. And they're the giant worm, and they carve all the tunnels. The dragon.
I'm down here.
I can barely hear you. Did you fall into a hole, Prospector Pat? Oh. They're going to try to bury him in some cement. Well, I don't want to say that. That might be a little triggering, but...
Don't pour that.
Yeah.
No, don't pour that on me.
We know weird stuff is a trigger for you. Wow. So...
I thought it would be a good time to talk about tunnels this week.
Yeah, tunnels,
Amazing.
funnels, and the underground worlds.
Airplanes and automobiles.
That's right.
Have you ever been in a tunnel? Usually you honk.
Some people dig their own tunnels.
You ever drive through a tunnel and you honk in the tunnel?
Oh, I love to do that. So you let everybody know that you voted for Biden.
Just wanted to let you know you voted for him.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what race or creed or political party you belong to. That's who you voted for.
Honk for Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a guest on tonight too,
Oh, that's right.
Mr. Foku. He's one of the Kraggles.
Yeah.
So we were gonna, basically there's been a lot of flooding, it's winter. Here we are, and I think that what happened is that, so all this water inundated all these different spaces, right, underground, and everybody kind of floated up,
Yeah.
It's like the it thing, right? We all float up, isn't that it? Cousin it?
Oh, that's up.
We all float up.
Up.
The movie Up, yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that movie. I don't watch cartoons or anything like that.
That's another thing to be careful for is that the red balloon, don't follow the bouncing red ball, whatever you do.
What if your home was lifted up, as I assume in that movie Up, I think that's what happens, they attach
Okay.
a bunch of balloons. I recently spent, I think maybe, 20 years or so down inside of a cave.
Shit.
And I met a pretty interesting friend down there.
Okay.
It was a tunnel that we were digging. It was a government project. And so I met my friend,
Wow.
through.
Yeah.
Sorry, sometimes I talk backwards when I get nervous. I met my friend through, and he's a crackle, I think. And you can bring him on at any moment if you want.
Yeah, right. Let's get him up here. Let's bring on Mr. Crackle, Mr. Foku, the Crackle.
Feel free to sit right here and talk to Mr. Trick.
Or you might just come over here. It's okay. We can do that.
Well, that sounds good.
Hey, can you...
Let me get this. Let me change the little video here because
Yeah.
we don't want that one anymore.
Here he is, everyone. Let's
We've
bring
gone
this.
through that.
Oh, sorry. Let me bring up the
We'll
music
just
here.
see what's going on with these guys.
Oh, boy.
All right, come on here. Get on
Okay,
up.
let's bring
Watch the
this
chord.
in.
Watch the chords.
Wow, it's been a while since I've been above ground, Mr. Ticka. I do
Okay.
apologize.
Catch your breath.
I do have an oxygen machine. I might grab some of those canned air things you can just get from the convenience store. I got a few of those since I've been above ground. So, yeah. So where should I start?
Well, I mean, your story's crazy. It's kind of it's a miraculous tale. It's fanciful. You floated up on a pool floaty, which was crazy. But it's because of all the microplastics that congealed underneath the earth. They congealed into a pool floaty of all shapes. But I mean, it makes sense if you know about geology.
Double-edged sword, it did help me.
Yeah, but we'll get there eventually. If maybe.
A lot of people.
Because this could be a long conversation if we really go through everything. But so tell us a little bit about kind of where you're coming from. Your history, your connection to the underground world, because you're kind of our connect, one of our few connects.
Well, yeah, I'd love to just start from Prospector Pat here.
Yeah.
He was the one that basically rescued me. Like he said, he came into the underground tunnels and
Yeah, I actually was working for a government project.
Yeah.
I think it was in South Arizona, possibly. And we were supposed to dig tunnels, we were supposed to dig tunnels. The great part about this huge moneymaker, we didn't have to dig all the tunnels because there were already gigantic cavernous tunnels underneath the area where they just happened to ask us to build.
they're pretty dope.
It was during the gold rush, so we get down there and there was a landfill above us. I think it was Alamogordo, and a lot of trash drifting down. A lot of the children there wore T-shirts that were out of style like 20 years ago.
That's very true.
And then I met.
Cargo cult capitalism, you know.
Yeah, there was a bunch of Atari game cartridges for what's that alien movie from where he flies over the moon? The alien and his
E.T.?
E.T. I was thinking IT.
IT.
E.T. phone home, but
That's basically, yeah, you phone IT, so it's the same idea.
And not those clowns down in the sewers either.
Aliens are just people that do work for us.
Totally different letter than the clowns down in the sewers.
Very true.
Although I do sympathize with them too. But
As do I.
so I met Toku. We were just walking along. We bumped into each other because it's so dark down there. I was looking for gold. He was just doing his job, and I think that's how we met, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I just saw you coming down. I thought you were a girl. So let me kind of give some background of more who I am. And
that sounds good. You're a Craggle, right?
Well, I'm a Craggle. So I may be sporting a Fraggle shirt, but I am a Craggle. So it's kind of hard. So let me start with, there's Fraggle Rock and there's Craggle Jazz. We all live kind of around the same, okay, so if you think about your Google Maps, right? You got your Google Maps, you got your same terrains, like the Fraggles, they live in the west, and we Craggles, we live in the east, and we occupy certain tunnels.
I mean, I noticed you were gal here. The guys are a little more orthodox.
I am more of an orthodox type.
A little jazz is a little more serious.
We prefer, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're into more of like what you would consider like noise jazz or free jazz.
Sure.
But even so, we do, it's hard to explain, you know, it's not like the same way you explain like conservatism or reactionary. It's subterranean terms, all that just goes away. It's just totally different.
No, the terrestrial on-land categories don't apply to the underground kind of political situation by any means.
And you know, especially, thank you, Mr. Tick, because especially when it comes to work.
Okay.
You know, some of my boys that I'm on a team with, you know, some of us are mining salt, sometimes we're mining quartz, sometimes on the same job site, because think about it, we're subterranean, and we have quartz and then salt coming down the same veins, you know, they're just coming down right over here, right over there, and I have some of my guys, that, you know, they go over there, guys and gals, and you know, pals, and sometimes, if they're just naive, they don't know what they're doing, and because they think that when they do the salt, this can get them really high. You know, sometimes they can do the salt, because sometimes, you know, subterranean folks like us, we do that.
try to get high on whatever you can. I mean, that's what I was going to ask you about basic things. When I heard the birds, I was like, well, that's interesting because that must have been from one of you guys. Is you guys use a lot of those like environments.
So when they try to get
kind of recreate on land environment, which is interesting because there is going to be a return. The coming race, we've talked about this many times. Edward Bill Litton, or whatever the hell his name is, he predicted a lot of this stuff, and you know the white race is going to come back to the surface eventually, and so.
Yeah, the interesting thing, because I kind of went there initially just to look for gold, but I ended up with like an anthropological standpoint. And what's interesting about the subterranean politics is that they can't do gerrymandering. Because there's no physical land. It's actually more like 3D gerrymandering. You take a little bit of each cave, a little side of the cave. Some of the passageways.
I can only imagine how territory is.
I mean, if you think about like smaller, like, you know, client states for like different, like larger, you know, a place like the U.S. or something like that. Just imagine how complicated, like all that stuff just like crystallized in a very small, and you know, and you get further down underground, everything crystallizes that much more. It's just crunching and crunching.
There is a graph of that.
You know, and one thing I just want to say, if any of my other friends underground that are watching this, please refrain from using the term surfoid. Surfoid is a slur.
That's true.
Surfoid is a slur. So any subterranean folks that are just trying to use that as a thing, just please don't. I mean, even me saying a surfoid is just like, let's just call it the S word. Let's just call it the S word and just call it a day. Fuck it. You know,
that's what I think.
I do apologize, Prospector Pat.
Of course, we got to set our boundaries. It's important to set our boundaries. I just wanted to show this graphic too because this is by this guy, a very interesting German that kind of did do. You know, some important work on kind of visualizing the inner world politics, and you'll have to excuse it, but because it is in German. But how do you go full screen?
F11. F11.
Really?
F11.
No, it don't work. But see, you can see here the gradations. This is, and then like down, you got over here all the Dalai Lamas, you got the Inner Earth, the Garthians. You know, the political situation is really kind of crazy. And the way that it's hierarchically organized
just think about it as like an elevator. You can just take it up and down.
Right, exactly.
That center line that's open.
Exactly.
That's the elevator.
It's organized basically something like that. You got all these different, you know, the lamas basically run it. It's basically like that people don't realize that Tibet is kind of one of the, you know, there's a big cave there where a lot of stuff is going on.
It's got a lot of vertical space. It's a very tall
very vertical space.
Very tall country. And you know, generally, sometimes in America we have you know, tall counties where things, you know, it's not just about the land, it's about the people and where they lie, up or down, above the land or below it. Sometimes the dead people are more important than the live people. So that's kind of a way that helped me when I went down there, was just, okay, this is just like counties, but they're three-dimensional. They look kind of like Minecraft blocks or Roblox.
Yeah, I mean, the way that the dozers and the gorbs, like the way that they maintain everything down there, it may seem abrasive to, sorry, I don't even want to say S words because to all of you, we'll call surface dwellers.
It's just words, man. Yeah, I mean.
To all of you surface dwellers.
We're not in kindergarten. We can say them here,
I'm sorry, Mr. Tig.
We can say those words here. We say a lot of the words here.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. You know what? All of you surfoids, so when we come down the gorbs and how we maintain things down there, you know, we have a certain system of how we try to get by, and the way that we do things are very similar to yours. So
I just wasn't, because I didn't have long hair when I first got there, but I still thought they were calling me a surfer guy.
Yeah.
But they were calling me a surfoid.
yeah.
Right.
Well, they also might have thought you were a girl.
That makes a little more sense.
Well,
Because
racism
you're
exists on
bigger
it.
and
Yeah,
they
every
just
plane.
weren't sure.
There's girls too, right? There's surfer girl.
Sure, yeah.
There's stuff like that. It's not all surfer boy.
No, that's good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
my cousin Grove from the Fraggle. And you know what? Thank you, Prospector Pat, for actually coming to the Craggle Village instead of the Fraggle Village. You know, I'm willing to support my cousin and stuff, all the Fraggle success that they've had. But you know what? With the Craggles, I'm really glad that you, Pat, that you have the luck or the fortune or misfortune, I don't even know what to call it, that you actually came down and you found me, and I could come up here while there's no sun in the sky whatsoever, so a subterranean fellow like myself can come up and just hang out with y'all tonight. It's such a beautiful thing.
It's really.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that.
It's really just what impressed me was the difference between the Fraggles and the Craggles. It was just like a quarter mile of cave systems that separated the
pretty
two.
much.
It was really impressive. It was just happenstance that I happened to be on the right side. They don't have fences down there. They don't have, anything like that. It's just caves.
Yeah, it's just caves.
So it's not an apartheid situation or anything like that.
No, God,
No.
Well, see,
Not around there. I mean, there's some places a little bit above ground.
It's like South Africa. Like on the surface, it's an
100%.
apartheid. On the surface, it's an apartheid, but underneath, once you're in the caves, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of an
It's a melting
inequality.
pot down there, you know? Us and the dozers, we all get along. And they're great salt miners, so, I mean, everybody loves the dozers. I love the dozers.
You know, another
I don't know what to say.
funny thing that I noticed down there is they had bats instead of birds.
Mm-hmm.
So the birds, instead of sounding like this, they sounded like that, kind of.
Well, they have a special color, and the guano, we use the guano to actually grow some of the quartz crystals down there.
Okay.
So the guano, I mean, a lot of people don't know this. You can use guano to make your quartz crystals a lot better. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay. It's really crystalled up, huh? Yeah. Nice.
All the crystal mummies out there, all the the surfoid crystal mummies. I'll just say it, surfoid crystal mummies.
I think I'm going to take a break. We'll come back more and talk a little bit more about my experiences with the. I guess I don't even have a name.
Some of the mining.
That sounds great.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna need to puff some oxygen too. So.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
There's a lot of cigarette butts.
Give us a call at 707-572-4142 if you've got a question for either of our participations here. We've got Prospect Pat and we got Mr. Foku.
If you have any questions for me, was it 707-572-4142?
That's right.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
That is right, people. We're gonna go in. We're gonna get deep tonight. We're going on in.
It's all about the tunnels.
It's all about the tunnels, people.
Yeah.
The year of the tunnel.
It's
Year of the tunnel, baby.
It's not submarines anymore.
I love tunnels, and there's nothing weird about loving tunnels. Let me tell you that.
No, we're the ocean's over. We're going into the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dig a tunnel.
Outer space, inner space.
And actually, when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we should dig tunnels and how all you surfoids should just dig tunnels, because tunnels are really cool. And I'll explain that in like a pretty relevant way.
Okay.
We do have a
Great.
lot of good footage and information about building tunnels later in the episode, everybody.
Yeah,
So stick around.
So show me all those. 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 So show me all those.
This is straight fucking what we're gonna make. What are these, bro? These are old mine shafts. You wanna take the camera? Yeah, I'll zoom it in, all the way in. Take a second. Oh shit, let's do it, dude. I'm fucking young.
Binford, grab this. It's on right now. Will, come on up. We got up here. Can I take the light? You explore on. Yeah, you get to go up to the next cavern. That's all you do. No, you're going. I got you. Hey, this is under control. Be right back. We're deep cave explorers. Yeah. What are we looking at? Alright, Hey, stay there. Come on, baby. Nah, it's kind of tight up towards the top. Yeah, this is as far as I'm going. So you guys want to go check out the building? Yeah. And just get out and climb right out.
heat a boiler that's powered with steam engines get it all.
How old is this room?
I believe it started in the late 1800s and finished in
The boiler?
the whole. Yep, the pumps.
Pretty fucking sick.
Nearly 100 years ago, these guys are ancient. They were told to thank you for keeping their thing alive, keeping it going. That's pretty nuts. Some of those people were born right here next to the building.
Villages, huh?
Yeah, and they grew up their whole lives under there. So these places really are.
True Islanders and shit, huh?
Yep. It's kind of neat to be a part of.
Yeah.
Hold of the ground, and people expect that about 90% of the global population will die from starvation because there won't be anything to eat.
The more I thought about nuclear winter, the more terrified I became. I needed a plan to survive the nuclear apocalypse before the world went to hell.
And that burst of light catches everything in which you die, from the blast wave tearing you to pieces, France.
Level with me. How likely is an all-out nuclear war, and should I be finding a bunker right now?
I don't
You never
know.
for sure. That's one of the real terrifying things here, is that one person in the United States and one person in Russia could decide all by themselves to have a nuclear conflict.
How many nukes are there around the world? Who has them?
There are about 14,000 nuclear weapons in the world. More than 1,000 of them are held by Britain, France, India, Pakistan, Israel, and China. Well, each of those countries has 200 or 300. Then Russia and the United States have 90% of the missiles.
So the lesson is, going off the grid no longer means giving up a lavish lifestyle. Think of it kind of like cribs in camo. From the outside, the security cameras, armored guard, and 8-ton steel doors are the only sign you're entering a top-secret facility. In fact, this place is so top secret, I can't even tell you where it is. I'm here to meet the man behind the condo, Larry Hall, who's going to give me a full tour.
So Claire, those doors that we just came in through weigh 8 tons each, so they're 16,000 pounds. They're armored steel filled with concrete. So you definitely hear that safety bang when the door closes.
Inside, this 54,000 square foot complex boasts everything you could need to live through the end of days.
Okay, let's get on and show you what's underground. You're not in Kansas anymore. We're going beneath Kansas.
The survival condo is spread across 15 floors and goes 200 feet underground. At the top, under the dome, are the recreation facilities like pet park and climbing wall. Underneath that are the mechanical level, medical bay, and food stores, with luxury living quarters spread across the next 7 floors. At the bottom, a further 4 floors house a classroom, a library, a bar, a gym, and a cinema.
Alright, so I'll show you a full floor unit. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit, and they have 9-foot ceilings. You see we've got all these high-end stainless steel appliances.
And most importantly, even though I'm 11 stories underground, I've still got a window.
When these windows are all on, you come in and out of the units and you see the birds flying and the sunset coming up and the rain and the weather changing.
Listen here, Jack.
That's the input your brain is used to. If you look in here, you can see that there's the bidet toilet, so we have a jacuzzi tub and a shower with the side units.
Jacuzzi tub.
Well, interestingly, we did a little calculation, and the max occupancy for this facility is 75 people. And if we put toilet paper for 75 people for 5 years. That volume of toilet paper was taken the entire floor of the store just toilet paper. And that square footage cost about $3 million to build. So, the day it is.
You know what art is actually made of? This was seen in America during the Great Depression. It's high in calories, healthy fats are burning minutes during hard times. It's long-lasting without refrigeration. It kept our forefathers alive.
Pretty comfy. These are good mattresses.
depth to 13 feet below ground level. Based on a quick response to the need for tunnel denial, available potential systems were screened, selected for final evaluation
Tunnel
for the
denial.
5 following systems.
Well, what's going on there?
People were denying tunnels.
Follow
Dry
deny
agent dispersers. The Mars turbine generator with CS
I don't want to speak too much out of turn here,
which propels CS submunition.
Turbine denial.
Might need to take a break for a second until...
Okay, well, you're listening. There's nothing weird about it, just so you know. Feel free to give us a call at 707-572-4142.
Let's repeat that. 707. What was it? 707.
572 4142.
707-572-4142.
This is the new mantra, people. If you any... Yeah. I downloaded some books today on the symbolism and secret meaning of numbers, and if you know anything about that kind of stuff, then you know what that number means. So...
That's very true.
Progress of the agent's movement through
Alright, you wanna put on this educational video for the people here? Prospector Pat?
To accelerate the travel of the agent cloud, the vents were covered by bags as the agent was emitted from the vent pipe. However, leaving the vents uncovered does not interfere with the penetration of the tunnel. Chemical sampling devices along the tunnel route measured agent concentration at various points. In some of the tests, a wet blanket, a plastic sheet, and plywood panels were placed in the tunnel to determine whether these barriers would retard the flow of
we'll have
agents.
just a
The barriers were all
last-minute
defeated by the
interview
agent cloud.
with
In this particular film sequence, however,
my
no
surfoid
barriers were
friends.
employed. Observation of the blower and
And after
grenade
that, we'll
methods
get one
also
last
brought out the fact that HC smoke grenades could be employed along
do
with
something good for all you surfoid folks, and also some of my
Now that I know what that means, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable you calling me that, saying the N-word.
Well, I mean, it's not the N-word, it's the S-word.
Okay, it's different. Alright. Okay. This is what they did to your people, though. They gassed them out underground.
Oh, yeah. So like...
People like to talk about, that other gassing situation, but people don't know a lot about what's happening underground.
If y'all pay
It's a lot
attention
easier to get rid of the bodies underground.
Any, like, the 4T and stuff, we'll talk about it later, but, like, the bad gasser and my tube...
Let's just leave it on that right there, the
We'll
Earth Tunnel
talk about
Complex.
that. That'll be a big hook. So any of y'all that are still watching, that'll be a big hook. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about how some of my Craggle family dealt with some weird gassing situations underground. And I mean, that's right. So there's nothing weird about that.
Just gonna leave it
Absolutely
right on.
not. That's very true.
You could just, William, replay it. Edward Arsenal here, part 2, title report on the Edward Arsenal tunnel operations, breeding capacity and chemicals, agent munitions.
Yeah, this is going to be a multi-part episode.
One of the covert tactics of the Viet...
I just want you to notice, though, that this is not just localized to Vietnam. That's like, if you look at a map, that's the whole world right there, okay? That's the whole world.
And what we're doing right now, that's just not like a 9-episode thing on Netflix. We're going to keep this going. We're going to keep this going, folks. And we'll see you in a few here.
Kong.
Thank you, Sir Forwards, for tuning in. Sorry to be so racist.
Is to use tunnels as infiltration or escape routes, or munition storage areas and assembly points for major munitions. The tunnels may run beneath cities or towns, thus complicating their destruction. Project Tunnels was initiated to evaluate 2 systems. One, a chemical, for forcing the evacuation of the tunnels and, if possible, to maintain a residual deterrent. And the other, an explosive demolition system. This film deals only with the work of Edgewood Arsenal, using riot control agent CS in the chemical system. The work with explosive demolition systems was accomplished by Picatinny Arsenal. Scale models of typical Viet Cong tunnels were constructed to determine which system may be the most effective in the evaluation tests. The tunnel complex was specified by the Limited Warfare Laboratories. This tunnel was 375 feet in length and varied in depth to 13 feet below ground level. Based on a quick response to the need for tunnel denial, available potential systems were screened. Selected for final evaluation were the 5 following systems. Riot control hand grenades, dry agent dispersers, the Mars turbine generator with CS in solution, an experimental expendable launcher system which propels CS submunitions, Mighty Mite, a commercially available air blower of the agricultural sprayer and duster type mounted on a packboard used with M7 type CS grenades. The Mighty Mite costs less than $350. The gasoline-powered blower weighs about 32 pounds, including 1 gallon of fuel for 2 hours of operation. A plastic sheet was thrown over the tunnel entrance, and the blower was placed at the edge of the opening. Dirt shoveled onto the edges of the sheet formed a seal. Agent grenades were dropped into the tunnel at a rate of 1 grenade per 2-minute interval, and the blower-driven agent cloud began its traversal of the underground maze. Progress of the agent's movement throughout the complex could be gauged by watching the vent pipes. To accelerate the travel of the agent cloud, the vents were covered by bags as the agent was emitted from the vent pipe. However, leaving the vents uncovered does not interfere with the penetration of the tunnel. Chemical sampling devices along the tunnel route measured agent concentration at various points. In some of the tests, a wet blanket, a plastic sheet, and a plywood panel were placed in the tunnel to determine whether these barriers would retard the flow of agent. These barriers were all defeated by the agent cloud. In this particular film sequence, however, no barriers were employed. Observation of the blower and grenade method also brought out the fact that HC smoke grenades could be employed along with or instead of the riot control agent grenades to facilitate discovery of other entrances and vents of the tunnel system and to make the tunnels untenable. However, the smoke left no residual hazard. The tests proved that forced movement of the agent was a prerequisite to complete penetration of the tunnel. The Mighty Mite grenade system was the most effective because it was man-portable and propelled the agent into the innermost recesses of the tunnel complex. It was demonstrated that the agent cloud reached the first vent pipe within 30 seconds, a distance of 30 feet. In 1 minute and 35 seconds, the cloud had diffused 120 feet to the second vent and entrance B. After 4 minutes, penetration had advanced to vent number 3, about 200 feet. At 9 minutes, the agent cloud was observed at vents 4 and 5, approximately 360 feet. Vent 5 was located at the munitions assembly room. Within 10 minutes after the actuation of the grenade and blower system, the entire tunnel complex had been traversed. These tests revealed that the commercial blower used with either the HC smoke grenade or the M7 type grenades provided the most complete penetration of tunnels and caves. Saturation of the tunnels with CS produced a residual hazard which rendered them untenable for a period in excess of 3 days.
Next, a current report on 3 incapacitating chemical agent weapons, the multipoint source cluster, the Handy Andy, and the power pack. First, the multipoint source cluster, a keg-size aerial cluster of 264 CS agent canisters, packed 33 to the bank in 8 banks. A base expelling charge initiates firing of the outer banks first, after which the succeeding internal banks are fired in sequence by the flash ignition of each preceding bank. The munitions are deliverable by nearly all Army tactical aircraft and hand-activated by pulling a lanyard. They can be tossed on target from helicopter cabins. Or the cluster drop can be made by any tactical craft fitted with standard 14-inch shackles and equipped with special fixed-wing assemblies. Ideal drop altitude is 500 feet when the cluster is toggled from fixed-wing release by tactical aircraft flying at airspeeds in excess of 200 miles an hour. The carrier is given clearance time between release and first bank ignition by a 2-second delay in the lanyard fuse. The airburst and ground skittering effect of the canisters is boosted by the thrust of internal ignition caused by a pyrotechnic mix in the agent payload. This combination of airburst and secondary thrust on the part of the cluster's 264 agent canisters produce an effective CS agent cloud to cover an area of at least 10,000 square meters. Next, the Handy Andy, a self-contained aluminum launch tube carrying its own 100-gram rubber grenade, filled with a 60-gram pyro mix and 40 grams of CS agent. The closure cap has a built-in firing pin, and when slipped off and fitted to the other end of the tube, it becomes the striker mechanism to ignite the launch propellant. Firing the Handy Andy as is, with one hand aiming the tube and hitting the striker cap with the other, provides fair accuracy at distances up to 100 meters. A 3-second delay fuse makes airbursts possible at ranges beyond 60 meters. Better launch accuracy can be given the Handy Andy by removing the closure cap and fitting the aluminum tube into the breech of the M8 flare pistol. Fired either way, the agent grenade has the same 3-second delay prior to the 15 seconds of burning time produced by a 60-40 combination of pyro mix and agent. A cloud of CS agent about 15 feet in diameter is the result. Third and finally, the Power Pack, a portable expendable multi-tube launcher designed for surface-to-surface CS assault, preloaded with 64 canisters in a pack weighing less than 25 pounds. The unit has its own fuse system and launch platform packed in a canvas carrying case and can be set up and fired in a few seconds. There are 4 layers of canisters in each tube, propelled by powder charges that get increasingly heavy.
Well, time now for a story about maybe the oddest obsession we have ever found, and I have to tell you, this is maybe my favorite about San Diego ever. You may have seen it. It happens to be one of the very first ones we did at NBC 739 in 1995. We couldn't have done it without the help back then of a very nice homeowner who said, yes, you can come in, and I'll show you what's under my house. Gonzalez and his wife bought their Kensington home, they heard it had a different kind of basement, but this is just amazing. Down and down, still further go the steps into the depths of Havens Caves.
We're just about at the first room coming up.
See, the guy who used to live in the house was named Dr. Glenn Havens, a scientist, inventor, and eccentric who one day started digging a barbecue pit and just got carried away.
Now, this is one of the 8 or 9 chambers that are down here. Actually, there's 9 rooms.
9 rooms.
9 rooms.
There's a chamber painted to resemble an undersea world of King Neptune with imaginary windows and what look to be little concrete bleacher seats.
This is where the king and the queen of the family sat and watched the festivities. Here's the playroom, and saw the children at play.
And there are other chambers with other thrones.
For thrones for the kids.
There's a dusty old ping pong table and an abandoned refrigerator, but back in the 1950s and 60s, Havens Caves was a real neighborhood attraction in Kensington.
That's great.
And Glenn Havens, that's him,
One time even hosted a wedding reception down here.
This actually takes you to another chamber, another area.
Think what you
Or a
will of
gender
Dr. Higgins.
reveal.
His tunnels and chambers are an incredible accomplishment. 100,000 tons of dirt, all of it hauled out by hand. So why did he do it? Well, he apparently just liked digging and loved to see the kids get such a kick out of it.
So it was a hobby, he wasn't nuts.
The kids just get a kick out of that kind of stuff. Kids like digging.
And what's about to mean is beneath your house and yard are 700 feet of tunnels and caverns. Art Gonzalez says it's just fine, thank you.
Yeah, it's not a typical house, and so we really enjoy it. We really enjoy it, and we hope that our son Aaron grows up and enjoys it as well.
One way or the other, Dad and Mom will have a lot to say about what's down in the basement, and a terrific story to tell about San Diego.
San Diego.
One of the things, Steve, and I still run across kids who are now, of course, all grown up, but they remember carrying out buckets of dirt, and maybe they'd get a penny a bucket to help out with this project. And I remember asking Mr. Gonzalez there about the engineering here. Is the house okay with all of this dirt removed under it? And he said, as I recall, he said, oh yeah, inspectors came and checked it out. There was another man, by the way, who also had this digging obsession up closer to San Diego State. His name was Young, and Young's caves have since been filled, or we would certainly try to check them out too, as a story about San Diego.
Wow.
San Diego, a great city.
That's pretty great.
Beautiful.
Can you guys hear me?
Can you what?
Can you guys hear me from down here?
Oh, I can hear you, Prospector Pat. You sound a little bit far in the tunnel, but I can still hear you. Need me to throw you down a rope or what?
No, I guess sometimes I just talk different depending on where I am. Sometimes I just talk different.
Yeah.
I kind of, I wouldn't say code switch, but I guess I do talk different.
Yeah. You're very, like, prospector coded, you know, in your kind of vibe presentation, so.
Okay, well, let's take a look here. Do we got incubators?
Alright, we're coming back here with our friend, Foku. Mr. Foku of the Underground World.
Mr. Foku.
Yep, thanks, yeah. So, we were going to talk about what? We're going to talk about more of kind of how you guys met, some of the internal squabbles there. The quartz that exists under the earth and how those resonate with a lot of different things and how those have been buried and things and Yazo electricity and the war for free energy that exists on the underworlds.
Let me take a puff of oxygen. And, if you have something to say, Prospector Pat, while I'm taking a puff of this oxygen here.
Of course. Let me take a little over.
Thank you.
Let me give you a little bit of an overworld perspective on the entire thing. So, when I first went into the caves, it was a pretty impressive sight. But I could only see if I illuminated it with some of the digital, multi-million candle power torches that I had. But I was really impressed, and I met a lot of people down there, and I found that, hey, they're not so different than you and I.
There's a lot of good people down there, Pat, and you know what? You're the best person to probably be like a good diplomat down there.
There's, first thing I noticed was, all the girls. There was girls from Alaska that keep you warm. There was girls from, I don't remember. Is that a Beach Boys song?
I mean, some of my cousins from Fraggle, so us as Fraggles.
I remember. Okay. The East Coast girls really knocked me out.
So, think about, isolated communities in flyover states. So, between Fraggle and Craggle, it's kind of the same thing. You know, I can't say my cousins are hot, you know, so my Fraggle cousins, that'd be weird. But, so my Fraggle cousins, oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. No.
Craggle girls make the scream and shout.
Well, you can go for Fraggle girls, I can go for Fraggle girls. And you know what? Let me say one thing. I know Tick's looking up something right here, but one thing I will say is, you know, when it comes down to the success of the Fraggles and the Fraggle Rock, I do appreciate what they were doing, and I respect that, and I'm glad for their success. And when it comes down to, you know, the Fraggles, we're more into jazz, and, you know, we're doing what we're doing. And that's why I'm so glad to come up with you, Prospector Pat, you know, just mine your way down through the shafts and find your way down to all of us just subterranean peoples.
I was just looking for
That's so great. I appreciate that.
I was just looking for gold initially.
Yeah.
But I will say, that I wish they all would be California girls. Whether or not they're on the East Coast or the West Coast, or down in the ground.
Well, some of the subterranean California girls, I mean, so some of my not the Fraggle cousins, but the Fraggle cousins. That's why I love it. I mean, I love those Fraggle girls so much. Goddamn, they are, woo, they're cuties. Big time. Oh man, it's been, so down on the ground we have like fresh air, so I gotta take a puff off this air. If you got something to say, Mr. Tanker, Pat, I gotta puff some. I'm glad the gas stations up here on the ground serve these oxygen tanks, these little mini things you can puff in, and they're good for some of us, you know, non-surfoids. You know.
Sounds like they're gonna take away all our oxygen somehow. Whether it be through a nuclear bomb or they're gonna try to, you know, send some device out that's gonna take away all the oxygen, so...
Yeah, air is just like land. So if you take a little oxygen...
Something's gonna happen there.
Take a little land.
Yeah, and take a little puff, take a little smoke, feel good.
It's more of attrition.
Yeah.
Oxytrution, I guess. But, yeah, anyway, so I was going to explain a little bit about how we met. Yeah, Mr. Foku and I met because they started flooding the tunnels. I don't think it was cement. It almost felt like quicksand, but it was, I think it was just water mixed with all the crystalline structures that they have down there. And we happened to be underneath a big landfill. And so, luckily, we both floated up on discarded pool noodles, and we both
actually, up. Yeah, it was my cousin. She kind of, got us introduced when we, it all floated up. It's like, hey, trust this surfoid. He looks weird. He's got long hair like you. He looks a little bit like he's this surfoid. Trust this man. I was like, you know what? Carla, and I was like,
and now once I taught her that I wasn't a feudal surf boy,
I think
I wasn't gonna fight.
You might have liked her a little bit, but I understand, Pat. But
it's okay.
But thank you for either way. Regardless if you like my cousin or not, you helped us come up come.
Sometimes I just like to raise people up.
Thank you for that.
It's good to do.
Yeah.
I think we're going to take a short break. What do you think, Mr. Tick? Should we take a short break and then...
Oh, we could do that. I mean,
or do you want to... You probably want to say a little bit, huh?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say right at the moment, other than just kind of that...
Do you have any questions for, subterranean folks, Mr. Tick?
Yeah, what do you think about the mole people?
Yeah.
The who people?
The mole.
Well, you know, I don't want to judge, and I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to project on anybody here. And so, try to keep my own kind of stuff close to my chest a little bit, but I think that something I am wondering about is just kind of, because we hear a lot about, you know, tunnels being blocked off and certain ones, things like that. And so, I mean, you guys have kind of reached across. You guys are like revolutionaries in the underground world.
Sure.
So, it's not all like that. You know what I mean? As far as I know, some of this stuff has gotten pretty ugly.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Doesn't that make you convinced when there's a few people that tell you all about the other world? That makes me feel really comforted when I can hear a few voices talking about the way the other places are. That makes me feel mad.
So it's good to get perspectives. That's what this whole show is about. We need more perspectives on what's going on.
At least two.
At least two perspectives.
And you know, one thing I will say, I mean, I know we're kind of short on time here, but as a subterranean dweller, you know, it is a PC term to say that. We're not that much unlike y'all surfoids. We have, you know, families, and we have different things that we do, and you know, we have so much to say, and I think going forward, there's so much that we can do and provide for you.
So you're saying that there's more similarities than differences between us.
Oh, yeah.
Is the resounding point
That's
of the
good.
show. Yeah. Because there's nothing weird.
There's nothing weird about it.
It's about familiarity.
Yeah.
About familiarity.
And as long as the weather is good, I will just hang out up here with you guys. Are just like Twitch streamers. You have your mansions, and you kind of stay with your friends. You know, I know about Twitch streamers, like, you know, you kind of like just hang out with your streamer friends.
We all live together.
We're all brothers and sisters here.
All the guys in the band live together.
In the mine.
That's the thing.
In the mind shaft, rather. Well, we are all brothers and sisters.
Yeah, goys and joints and envies, and we're all here just fucking surfing on a fucking top level of this topsoil. I mean, it's new for me, but you know what?
Yeah.
I think it's great.
No, I think it's good. I think it's a
no matter what.
It's a new frontier, you know what I mean? I think, like I said, like space is kind of over.
And you know what
we're gonna go further underground because there's more resources there. There's more stuff to get.
And one thing I will say is I have on this oxygen thing was I'm so grateful that these convenience stores provide these oxygen tanks. So beautiful. It's you know, I love the fact that y'all are so much into tunnels these days. Tunnel digging. You know, like if you put it on, you know, say for example,
so as kids were doing it for 1 cent.
But if you're a rich guy, if you're a rich guy, you have like $200,000. Dig your own tunnels. Dig your own tunnels.
Or just have your kids sell air lemonade. On the side of the road or something. Just open up an air lemonade stand.
Yeah. Or just like a software engineer, you want to dig some tunnels underneath your house, just, you know, until the world goes wrong. But, you know, all of us subterranean folk, we appreciate that. So all of y'all, the more of all you surfoids dig tunnels, that's the last thing I would want to really conclude with this. This is the last thing. I'm sorry to be so turbulent about this. I'm sorry to be so about this. But you know what I want to say? I really, really, really hope that all of you surfoids dig more tunnels, and that will give us subterranean folks more exposure, more understanding, more of what we're experiencing down there in the underground, and you all will appreciate that. And I think that's going to be a beautiful thing. I'm so sorry, but man, you know, I don't think there's anything weird about that. I don't think so.
I think you're right. I think that it reminds me of something that I used to get told when I was a child. If you keep digging that tunnel, you're going to get to China.
Oh, yeah.
And what was that? Well, that was a form of telling you that you were going to kind of break the barrier to the enemy's side.
Well,
and so,
proverbially.
And so, what we're trying to do here is reconcile perspectives. We're not trying to build up new bridges or burn bridges or build new walls or any of that, or put cement in a tunnel that you might.
Yeah, exactly. Build a tunnel under the waterway. Don't build bridges. Build a tunnel.
Maybe so, because bridges are too obvious.
That's very true.
You can see them.
Yep, that's right. So, I mean, we might all have to start just going underground.
I think so.
And, you know, if y'all decide to do that, y'all are perfectly welcome down there with us.
Well, that's good. That's the kind of thing that people need to hear, because I think that people are a little scared of doing that at this point.
I'm just putting that out there for you.
People aren't sure if it's...
Just to let you know.
Thank you. People aren't sure if there's an open invitation at this point, you know?
For sure.
People aren't quite sure, so glad that we have that on offer. You heard it here first, folks. The open invitation.
I think on the next episode we could probably talk about the economic viabilities of living on the surface versus living on the underneath the surface.
It's a new homeland.
I think that'd be a great subject matter.
Yeah. A new homeland to return to. And I think this was prophesized in a lot of ways.
This is a truer land.
Right.
If you're actually within it, rather than on top of it.
No, exactly. There's like a superficiality to all of what's going on. You know, I mean, I don't mean to downplay anything about the seriousness of any of it all that, but
I don't know what. I haven't heard.
I'm not really sure either, but you know, I think there's a lot going on right now, and so that's what people are saying, and so I'm saying that I just think that if you go deeper, and you go a little bit deeper, another layer, you might find that there's actually something a little more solid there, and is also where like there's a reconciliation.
It's more enriching.
More enriching, for sure, because the soil is wet. The soil is wet and hot down there too.
And you know, beneath the soil where it's wet, we still have tunnels.
Exactly.
You know, tons and tunnels.
And that's where it really starts to get good, you know?
Yeah, if you enrich the soil, then above ground, then the plants or children grow better, I think, if they eat
There's a symbiotic. I mean, the Cabbage Patch babies need something, you know?
That's very true.
These little orphan babies.
Next week we'll probably, because I think next week we talk about the subterranean stork that delivers babies underground.
Yeah, we can talk about the lore.
Through cabbages,
The subterranean stork and the inverse cabbages.
Let's call it underground lore. I
like
mean,
that.
You know, I'm fine with talking about it. I'm more of an agnostic. Stuff, but I'm fine with talking about the
You're like one of these like guys back in the day that was like exposing everything that was going on, which is very important, and it's not something that people.
Yeah, I
but it's
appreciate
kind
that.
of being like you are one, and you were one on like a different level. And I know we could talk about that also in the next episode.
Yeah.
I know you've broken ranks a little bit, or you've caused a little bit of controversy and a scandal within that world by kind of doing this, by coming to the surface, by building underground tunnels and bridges that kind of.
He was subordinating a superior officer when he rose up above the levels of the world.
I mean, because I got help from, a certain man by
You can't subordinate your superior officer.
Dirt Spawn. Dirt Spawn. I'll just say that. It was Dirt Spawn.
Yeah, alright.
He helped me out, and we can talk about that next time.
It was like an inverse subversion.
It was an op.
Inverse subversion.
I mean, it was a fucking op. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, well, let's just say there's ops on all sides, so you're not going to escape that like going underground, people. That's the thing, is that there is something weird about it, and there is no escape from any of it.
Not worried about that.
So it doesn't get any more normal. That's for sure.
Sometimes the upside downs are right side up.
Sometimes
We're going to
down.
play a few commercials, and then we'll probably come back for a bit and play some music or something like that.
Yeah, enjoy this little video here. You know, every single tunnel needs an opening ceremony, and you know this one's one of the best. So.
You know, you hear about the, I know you, surfboards, there's a whole magical ritual thing.
Well, you're the one who forced us to do this, right?
Well, did you know about
Or not you, but like kind of the orders that you were a part of.
Oh, sure, but just one little tidbit. I want to leave with a tidbit, and yeah, this looks like the Duke of Deerlights and what he's doing.
This is the Duke of Deerlights. He was a part of this order. Yeah.
I appreciate what he's doing next.
His daughters are doing
The daughters of the Deerlight.
The daughters of the
Deerlights. He's got a very complex family. Him and the captain.
It's interesting, these orders, when they involve females. We can talk about that on an episode too.
It's branches of a family tree, technically.
And they prostitute their daughters in these orders sometimes.
Yeah,
oh my god.
They're kind of goffed out, but you know, we can appreciate that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff that we can talk about with, oh boy, so much. There's...
It gets a little crazy, people.
It might take multiple episodes.
Yeah, we might. I mean, this is the year of the dragon. I mean, it's like this is a year-long process. We're gonna be digging internal because everything on top is superficial right now. It's all just ending. It's coming to it's like it is the serpent biting his own tail. We're like at the end, and then we're gonna have to see what happens when he starts choking on it.
It's an aura movie.
And then things are gonna get interesting.
Let's get it started in here.
Yeah. Let's get that started. Alright. We'll be back. There's nothing weird about it. Call us if you want.
Give us a call. What's the number? It's 707-572-4142.
Where we should go call 4142.
707-572-4142.
707-572-4142. It really works. Waiting for the worms to come. Waiting for the worms to come. Don't leave me now. Does anybody here remember Vera? Remember how she said that we were free to grin that sunny day?
You're listening to There's Nothing Weird About It. Appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in on There's Nothing Weird About It.
Thank you all for tuning in.
So, just to recap, you know, we've dug in. We're digging in, folks.
Yep, we're doubling down.
Doubling down and digging in. Things are about to get deeper.
You thought the ocean was deep. What about the land?
More, yeah, dirtier, deeper and dirtier, and things are gonna get wild. Things are gonna get a little crazy, but it'll be okay because we'll be here for you, and we'll be here. We are your connect.
Exactly. And if you
between the upper and the lower.
Don't worry, you won't see anything.
The upper and the lower worlds.
You won't see anything anymore.
Nope.
That's very true.
Once you get down, 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 you won't see anything anymore.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of a blessing. Seeing is believing is overrated for sure. Now that we've entered into the whole AI stage of deep fakes and prefabs and all the things,
That's so true.
So it's like seeing believing's over, or we've now moved on to a different thing.
It doesn't matter if you can't see anything.
Exactly.
You gotta have a sixth sense, or
We gotta trust a different sense. That's what it's all about.
A different sense about it.
Trust a new sense. Sight it ain't the one.
Just follow what you feel.
It'll deceive. Follow what you feel.
Follow what you feel.
Yeah, I think that's good. People should probably do that. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is the first time we got ourselves on all the platforms. We like that. Hope you do too.
All the platforms.
Yep, we're on everything now.
Yeah, we're everywhere now, I guess. I mean, I'm just kind of newly joined this whole crew, but I appreciate what y'all are doing. I love it. And
No, from Mr. Foku, we loved having you on. We're gonna have you back for sure.
Cool.
I think that. We're gonna have you back on, Prospector Pat. Hope you come back too to start. We can have some of these. We can have some of these conversations that need to be had about.
I'm gonna come up again. Now
Good.
that I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How long is the elevator ride for you?
About 35 years, give or take.
No shit. Okay, well. Whew. We appreciate you making it up.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And thank you to.
Maybe you can just crash on someone's couch for a couple days or like a week, and you can come back or something.
Thanks for coming, Mr. Foku.
No, thank you. I might take you up on the couch thing.
Yeah, you too.
Well, I'll go back down there with the Kraggles here soon, and yeah. But it'll be great to be up here for a little while. We'll collaborate. We'll get some stuff, and I don't think there's anything rude about that at all. Yeah.
Oh, great. I mean, yeah. We can have some of that conversation where you give some of that technology. 'Cause I know it doesn't take you 35 years to go back and forth.
We still need to talk a little bit about the crystals, but we'll do that next show.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the quartzes.
Craggle
The time crystals, time travel, because that's what that is about. It's time travel and crystals.
Crime.
That's how you're able to get back and forth so much quicker than us superficioids or whatever the fuck you called us.
It's a little more info on that. I understand.
Yeah, so, we're getting there. We're bridging the gap.
Glad to help you all out for that.
We're not filling the hole, We're leaving it open so that people can go back and forth.
So we can know what's down there.
So you can know what's down. All things will be revealed.
That's right.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. There's something weird about it. Love you guys. Catch us next week on Saturday. On the Tick, signing off. Woo!
Have a great